Hello everyone, it's Kim from the Palmore Institute in Kobe. Today we're looking at useful communications, Saturday class 1.2, and this is a continuation of Unit 7. Okay, so let's look here. Okay, so today we're looking at continuation of Unit 7, and we're looking at today Task 7 on page 47. Okay. Now this is a conversation, okay. Now your objective of this task is basically using imperatives and infinitives for giving suggestions in a conversation about technology. Okay, so you have a conversation between Justin and Ellie, okay, and they're talking about technology. Then Justin has a problem with his, how to use his smartphone, and then Ellie gives some advice to him about what he should do and what he shouldn't do. She's basically giving him some assistance because he's just got a new smartphone. Okay, go through the actual conversation. You can read through the conversation, and there are some basically listening tasks that they have there. For example, what else does Justin want help with, and also what does Ellie suggest? Okay, so go through the conversation, read through it. If you want, you can listen to it online. Okay. Now, there are some exercises. I want you to have a look at these exercises here. Basically, look at these instructions. Okay. So these are 4 of the instructions that Ellie recommends to Justin. So let's look through them. First one we have, be sure to update it. Don't forget to reset all your passwords. Install a good antivirus application, and the last one, try not to use public Wi-Fi networks. Okay, so these are 4 instructions from the conversation. Okay, so reread the conversation or listen to the conversation again, and put these 4 instructions in order from when you listen. So just number them 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's task 7 basically. It's a listening exercise, or you can read the conversation in your textbook. Okay, that's task 7. And basically, we're going to have a look at the conversation, basically looking at the difference between basically what imperatives are. So I'll explain it to you in the next task. Okay, so let's move on. We go to task 8 now, and let's have a look at task 8. Okay. And let's have a look. Okay, so task 8. Now this is a grammar task. Okay, so in this section, so you can see the difference of basically how to use imperatives and infinitives to give suggestions. Okay, now if some of you are not familiar what imperatives are, let me just explain to you just here. Basically, when you use imperatives, you use the base form of a verb. Now, the base form is basically the simple form. So, for example, you have eat or drink. Okay, you don't use ing or ed. So, you use we call the base form or the simple form of a verb. Okay, so basically, imperative phrases are used to tell someone to do something. Okay, so let's have a look at these 5 examples here. We have be sure to update the application. Okay. Make sure to charge your phone. Remember to back up your files. Don't forget to reset your passwords. And try not to use public Wi-Fi networks. Okay, so as you can see, these 5 expressions. Okay, be sure to, make sure to, remember to, don't forget to, try not to. These are imperatives. Okay, and again, when you use verbs, the verbs must be in the base form, as you can see in red. Update, charge, backup, reset, and use. Okay, so there's no ed form, the past tense, or present progressive form, ing. Okay, you just use the base form. Okay, so that's what imperatives are. Basically, when you're giving instructions to someone to do something, and these are 5 popular expressions. Okay, that we can use. Okay, now. If you want further practice on in the textbook, if you go to page 138, and if you like to try Unit 7 Part 2, there are some exercises that can help to reinforce your understanding of imperatives. Okay, so just be careful that that's what imperatives basically the next few tasks are all based around imperatives and using infinitives as well. Okay, so that's task 8. Okay, moving on, we go to task 9. Okay. Now in task 9, in the textbook, in task 9, you have basically, it's a listening exercise, and they have 5 inventions that are basically listed in the textbook. So you have a portable speaker, you have a GPS system, you have a flash drive, smartphone, and ATM card. Okay, so basically people are giving, in this, the main part of this task is that people are giving you suggestions on using 3 of the items. Okay, there are 5 items in your textbook. Okay, I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, so there are 5 items. Okay, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there are 5 items, and you're going to listen to instructions on how to use these items. Okay, so 3 of them. So once you listen, if you listen to the online, if you listen to the conversation online, then you can number these items 1, 2, 3. Now there are 2 items that are actually not. They're not actually. You won't actually hear anything about the suggestions on how to use them. So let's have a look at them together. So 2 things out of those 5 that are not mentioned is, one is a flash drive and a portable speaker. Okay, again, using imperatives on how to use these actual inventions. Okay, so let's do some practice then. I'm going to read basically instructions on how to use these items. Listen carefully and tell me when I read them out, am I talking about A, the flash drive, or B, the portable speaker? Okay, here's the first one. Listen carefully. Number 1, make sure to get one that is waterproof, as we'll go to the beach. Don't forget to check that it has a good clear sound. Remember to get a warranty in case it gets broken. Okay, one more time. Make sure to get one that is waterproof, as we will go to the beach. Don't forget to check that it has a good clear sound. Remember to get a warranty in case it gets broken. Okay, number 2. Don't forget to set a password on it so other people cannot access it. Try to buy one with a lot of memory. Be sure to attach an accessory like a key ring or neck strap so you won't lose it. One more time. Don't forget to set a password on it so other people can access it. Try to buy one with a lot of memory. Be sure to attach an accessory like a key ring or a neck strap to it so you won't lose it. Okay, so the answer, number 1. If you chose number 1 as the portable speaker, you're right. Okay, so number 1 was the portable speaker, and number 2 was the flash drive. Okay, so let's have a look at these. Okay, so let's have a look at these together. So basically the first one, make sure to get one that is waterproof. Okay, as we'll go to the beach. Don't forget to check that it has a good clear sound. Remember to get a warranty in case it gets broken. Okay, so as you can see, there are 3 imperatives there. Okay, make sure to, don't forget to, remember to. And again, when you use imperatives, as you can see in red, you can see the verbs are in the base form. Okay, make sure to get, don't forget to check, remember to get. Okay. And number 2, this is basically instructions on how to use a flash drive. Okay, don't forget to set a password on it so other people can access it. Try to buy one with a lot of memory. Be sure to attach an accessory like a key ring or neck strap so you won't lose it. Okay, again 3 imperatives as you can see. Don't forget to, and using the base form of the verb set. Okay, try to buy. Okay, and be sure to attach. Okay, so those are examples of instructions on how to use these inventions, and again these instructions are basically using imperatives. Okay, that's it. Okay, so that's with task 9. So let's move on to task 10. Okay, got that? Okay, now task 10 is basically, this is the interchange 7 exercise, okay, and this is related to page 121. Okay, let's just go there. Okay, now basically in this exercise, it's basically a group work activity more for fluency, but you can actually do it by yourself. So you're going to read 6 people have problems, okay, and when you read the problems, okay, what you have to do is give advice or suggestions on basically how they can solve their problem. Okay, so again, when you give advice, try to use imperatives. Okay, so that's the goal. As you can see, the objective to give possible suggestions, advice to people's problems by using imperatives and infinitives. Now there are basically 6 pictures there. So let me just give an example. Okay, here we are. There's 6. Okay, so basically 6 people have problems, and then you have to give advice on advice or suggestions on how they can solve those problems. Okay, now what you can do is please write down your advice for each problem, and I'll check them for you next time in class. Okay, so obviously you can write suggestions and advice for each problem. Write them down, and then next time we see each other, I can check them for you. Okay. Now, some suggestions that you can use, just for an example, you can see here. So, some examples that you can use which are related to those 6 problems. Make sure to be polite. Don't forget to divide the household chores. Remember to talk about the house rules. Be sure to respect their privacy, and try to be friends. Okay, so as you can see, 5 basically, I'll say 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 imperatives, and as you can see, the verbs are in their base form. Okay, now you may encounter some new vocabulary when you read these 6 problems. Okay, there may be some new expressions that you may not, new expressions or vocabulary that you may not be familiar with. Roommate. Let's have a look. So just put this up so you can see clearly. Okay, roommate. Okay. So roommate is someone you share a room or house with. Another expression, get along. Okay, if you get along with someone, you have a good relationship with someone. Okay, a burglar is a thief who enters a building by force. Okay, so basically a thief is someone stealing. Maybe if you're in some restaurant and someone steals your bag, and that's a thief. But a burglar is basically like a thief, but you can't see them. So if you're at work or and there's no one at home, someone who uses force to break into your home to steal something, that's a burglar. It's the same as, well, like during this, basically maybe during this period now, some companies may be empty, and a bad person, a burglar, would break into the building to look for something to steal. Okay, so that's what a burglar, who uses force to enter a building. Okay, now your in-laws. The in-laws are basically the parents of your husband or wife. So, for example, my wife's mother is my mother-in-law. My wife's father is my father-in-law. Okay, so when you say your in-laws, usually you mean the parents of your husband or wife. But in-laws can also mean your partner's family. So, my wife's brother is my brother-in-law. Okay, so basically in-laws are the parents or family of your partner. Okay, and the last one is really into. Okay, if you're really into something, you're very interested in some activity or topic. Okay, so those are the 5 expressions that you may encounter in those problems. Okay, so there's some new vocabulary there. Okay, so that's that. Now let's move on to task 11 now. Now task 11 is actually a writing exercise. Okay. So, basically, here you're writing a message, and basically, well, the goal, let's have a look at the objective. The objective is to write a message giving instructions using imperatives and infinitives, okay? So, basically, in this scenario, in the writing scenario, you are living in a house or an apartment with a roommate, okay? So, you and your roommate live together in a house or an apartment, but one day your brother decides to come to your home for dinner, okay? But you're very, very busy at work and you have no time to prepare or to go shopping. However, your roommate has the day off and your roommate has offered to help you. Okay, so basically you're going to write a message to your roommate giving some instructions on what to do to help to prepare for dinner, because your brother's coming over. And the actual textbook, they do give you a slight beginning of an email message, and in this case you're writing to your roommate. Your roommate's name is Melissa, and this is what they say. Hi Melissa, thanks a lot for your help. Please remember to do these 3 things. Okay, first, make sure to buy some groceries. Okay, the shopping list is on the refrigerator. Also, please don't forget to Okay, so basically you're going to write some instructions to your roommate to help buy groceries and to prepare dinner for when your brother arrives. Okay, so again, the same thing for this writing exercise, same thing what we have written here in green. Please write down your instructions to your roommate, and I'll check them for you the next time. Okay, and that's for task 11, the writing exercise. And we go to the last task, which is number 12. Okay, now number 12 is basically task 12. It's a reading exercise. Okay, and as you can see, it's on page 49. Okay, looks like this. Okay, and basically the topic is the sharing economy. Okay, and you read the article and you complete the exercises. They have 2 lot of exercises. Basically the article is on part A, and then part B and part C are basically reading comprehension exercises related to the article. Now the article is about the sharing economy. Sharing economy is basically talking about, for example, when you go on vacation, many people stay in a hotel, but as you have seen recently, Airbnb, or in Japanese you probably say minpaku, is very popular now. So that's sharing economy, where you actually share your home to other people, and of course they pay you some money for using your home. And it's the same for cars. Instead of using your car every day to drive to work, if you know someone who's going to the same direction to your workplace, you can share the cost of going to the city. So for example, Monday, Wednesday and Friday you can use your car with your friend and drive to the city, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays maybe you use your friend's car. So basically you're sharing the cost of going into the city. Okay, instead of using your own cars, basically one day you use your car, the next day you use your friend's car. So this is what the article is about. Okay, now when you read the article, there may be quite a few new words there. So some of the new words that you may encounter. So for example, here we have these new vocabulary exercises. So we have A, rent; B, get a ride; C, fee; D, strict; E, doubt; and F, worth. Okay, so these may be 6 new words that you may encounter in the reading. So as an exercise, okay, we have basically 6 sentences here which have the definitions or the meanings of these words. Okay, let's go through them. First one is to have a particular value. Next one, pay money to use something for a short time. Next, a journey in a car to a place where you want to go. And next one, the feeling of not being certain about something. And the next one, must be obeyed. And the last one, an amount of money that you pay to do something, or to use something, or to get a service. Okay, so please match these 6 words to their definitions on the bottom. Okay, so that's the end of Unit 7. Okay, so basically today's lesson was basically Task 7 to Task 12. Okay, so please do those exercises that I mentioned. Okay, and I'll see you in the next lesson. And the next lesson will be starting on Unit 8. And the topic is basically time to celebrate. Okay, that's it. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, so good luck with your studies, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.